pretty much. And I lost everyone at about 8 minutes. That's what you get when you run in the woods and then you get no connection. Doesn't matter that this is a freaking new phone or it's ridiculous. Actually, this new phone is worse than most. Worst one I ever had, and I don't even pay for it. It's like brand new iPhone. It doesn't matter. Whatever. The connection's brutal on it. I have multiple bars now, but I can't believe it actually went dead. So, sorry about that, guys and gals, brothers and sisters. I went over a ton of crap, and I was talking to myself. I had people there, and then they said lagging. Crypto Home said lagging, and then gone. So, I'll somewhat start over. If you're new, consider subscribing. Market is selling off. That's your Sunday market. Have no fear. Let's hope Asia wakes up. Yeah, Crypto Home, sorry. I saw your lagging thing a while ago. And then I thought it got back. And I went on and went on for another 30 some minutes. And I checked it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's the issue. That's what happens when you go for a run. Even in my neighborhood, I don't have a good connection. It makes no sense. AT&T for you. Well, I went into a whole diversifying thing. This market will be this week predicated, on our boy Trump and our tariff talk. Let's see what Asia does tonight. We need to get to 95K during the day. Have green, right? Let the cobwebs get shaken out. Let the sell-off continue. Let 93, hey, 93 right now. 93,800. Let that get shaken out. Profit taken. Let's get back up to 95. It'd be nice to do a repeat of last week and Asia wakes up and pushes us, hits some shorts. We're going to have a lot of resistance at 100K. We could easily go through 100K, 101, 102, right back down to the 90s. Because remember, there will just be a significant amount of profit taking. Last little stream I did, Crypto Homes shared about the XRP ETF. That's wonderful. The more the merrier. Remember, XRP is not going to $5.89, $100, or $50. I'll be happy with $5, $10, $15, $20 could happen if we get to a 10, 11 trillion market cap. You know what it'll take for that? It'll take all the money coming out of gold like it's been in, throwing it into that, and just retail going crazy and ETFs going crazy. Then, Bitcoin at 130, 140K. Then the alts will explode. We don't know if that's going to happen. And don't listen to, I like your price there, $16 to $13 XRP, absolutely. If we get stuff going, we get up to a $4 trillion market cap. We're below 3, and then the XRP case gets settled, truly settled. It'll be at $3 within 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, $3. And then it'll be a difficult road up to $4, and then we'll see what happens. Yeah, easily $6 if we get a bull market, which we're not in. $13 will be tougher, but absolutely could be done. We get that market cap up, a ton of it's going into XRP. Here's the problem. You're going to have so many profit taking at all-time highs. You're going to have Ripple unloading on us just because that's how they stay in business. If we got to $5, I'll be extremely happy. If we got to $10, I'll be very, very happy. That'll be $1 million for me. But XRP is not near one of my biggest holdings. But everything will fly and follow. M2 money supply, as Crypto Homes was saying earlier, liquidity, it'll only come in when the time is right. We're not near there. We just got ETFs going on and a few other things. Yeah, sorry. I went on forever metal on that one. Went on forever. Almost at my car now. Suppose I could keep walking. But I went on for 30 some minutes. I thought you guys could get back on, but no. Doesn't appear that way. That's the problem. Did you guys hear about my diversity stuff, being diverse like you are in real estate and everything? If not, I'm going to go over it again. I might as well. Finish off with the market. Volume is down. Volume is light. Went over my portfolio on the last one. But I don't want to put my hotspot on because maybe that hurts the connection a little bit. Volume's light. We need to be 300 plus billion. For the youngins, people new here, consider subscribing. Metal can tell you he's had a lot of success. He's older like I am with investing in real estate and having a passive and good income coming from that. Now's the time when if you get a match in your 401k and you're young or even older, you max out right now and then you can lay off as the year goes by. Now's the time where you load up and you max out right now, whatever you can do, and then you lay off because these are the prices. These are the low prices. 11 trillion taken out of the market. This is when you buy. Happy Sunday. Out pushing the mower right now. Nice. Yeah, I do that. I did that yesterday. I mowed for the first time. Changed the oil, did the gas, got it done. Thank you, Jinx Me Vegan. Got to replace the AC and furnace right after you talked about it. Oh, that's what, 7K? Something like that. Maybe more, 6 to 10K. Yeah, C90, I just did a 45-minute live stream and I cut everyone off at about 8 minutes in. Happy mowing. Happy mowing. So liquidity coming in. Let's see what happens this week. It's, the orange man stays cool and stops lying about talking to China and actually talks with them. Remember this is not going to be done immediately. But hopefully it will be done. I also don't believe it's going to take years. Yeah, I got to go back on my rant then. What you guys missed. YouTubers, you're already hearing it. A couple days, a week of green, nothing significant last week. That's great. Ondo got back to $1. It's back down. We have our Sunday morning sell-off. It is not a bull market, but it's not a bad time to be buying at all. That is true. But please don't get fooled by the sponsors. You're just hearing the sponsors by Wendy and all that will pick up because what happens is some capital comes in, a little green happens, everyone gets optimistic, so they start reaching out to the streamers and saying, hey, we'll give you this if you do this and you talk about this and that, and most of them will take anything that will pay them, especially Wendy. Call them out on that shit. ECN broke resistance. CBCN broke now. Okay. 9,300 C90. Oh my God. That is brutal. Absolutely brutal. Just in time for summer. Think of it this way. I know you don't want to live there forever, but it'll help you when you do sell. And you won't have to worry about it every time your air goes on or your heat. That's the only way you can look at it. That's horrible. I'll pull those AMP profits out. That's me. You sold AMP a long time ago. One point I had high hopes when we were kicking it last year and it followed Jasmine and it got past the penny. I was like, ooh, I might get my money out of this thing. Not so fast. But if the market does come back and everything, I bet you I can get half of my money back. I'm good with half. I'm good with that. It'll offset some of my gains. I hope. I said that last year. Who knows where the market's going to go? I believe people who sell in May and go away will be upset watching this market. I hope you're right. I'm hoping, like last year was sell in May for sure. But it has nothing to do with, the rhyming stuff. But people do go away in May, but it was just the market was horrible. And, what was going on with Gary Gensler and everything. And they 100%. It was, the whole damn summer before that. It started happening before May. right after, you know, the ETF sell off, the hype, and then boom, all the shit hit the fan. I'm telling you, we will be in good shape if all Trump has to do is be logical, rein everything in, be optimistic, stop being such a bully, tell the truth a little bit, and we'll be okay. Remember, people were starting to take some money out of gold, and Bitcoin's looking good to them. You know, on risk is looking a little good, even though, you know, and don't listen to the coupling and the decoupling with the stock market and equities. We are coupled with that. We're coupled macroly with everything. Just because the equities market goes down and we don't follow it, it's not like all of a sudden everyone, a light bulb went off and they're like, oh my God, we got to put all our money, all our cash flow into crypto. That's not, no, it's just, it was ETFs and some retail and some decent news over the week, you know, so some uncertainty temporarily was taken away, but then boom, right back, you know, when Trump was contradicted from China saying we haven't been talking. But just don't be fooled that it's fully on due to 1 week. Let's see how this week plays out. We have so many parameters. I'm out, you know, I'm hopeful, I guess I should say. Hopefully optimistically cautious, pessimistic, realistic. Seeing BlackRock staying away from the XRP ETF seems ProShares is firing one up like, said. I think the India trade deal happens soon. That would be good. Once these tariff deals happen, plus a June rate cut. We don't know if that's going to happen. I hope it does happen. And the M2 global supply hitting all-time high. May through July looks fantastic. Okay, that's a good assessment. Crypto Homes. It was manufactured in 1984. I've been on borrowed time. Oh, that's the... Yeah, but they don't make stuff like they did in 1984, that's for sure. What I will say is, we had a boiler in my last home, and it lasted like, you know, it's like 50 years. And then when we put in, they said, oh, you'll be lucky to get 10 years out of it. That was in the city when we lived in the city. Yeah, we'll see what happens. BlackRock remains focused on maximizing profits from the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. Yeah, with little activity expecting on the XRP ETF market. Yeah, I don't know what the XRP, you know, I think it's, we'll see how successful it is. I don't know. I think BlackRock's hands are full right now. And we'll see. I don't know, but I don't think there's anything near with them jumping in on that. It'd be great if they did, but you know, right now the Ethereum ETF is not so hot. But what you guys can do, and my new folks, is focus on your health a little bit. We're heading into the spring here, but summer will be here soon enough. How are you feeling? You know, mental health follows your physical health. So think about what you're putting in your body. If you're not feeling sluggish, if you're hurting, if you're overweight, let me know if I can help. C90 is doing a lot of good stuff to help himself out, and he's going to feel a million times better for it. It's not as hard as you think. You go through a little detox in regards to sugar and all that stuff. I mean, I've had a lot of sugar lately, and you get addicted to it. Why do you get addicted to it? Because what happens is when you eat it, you get a blood sugar spike. Then it narrows down, and then that's why you crave it, because eventually it wants it again. That's why you start craving the sweet, especially after you eat something savory. All of a sudden you feel like something sweet because your blood sugar level dropped below that dopamine, and it's saying, get me a cookie. It takes about 2 weeks, 3 weeks to break from that. It's tough. But I promise you make little changes here and there, everything else follows. Got arthritis in your knees and all that shit. You start dropping some of those pounds, man, you'll feel like a new person. Sleep like shit. Check out that video I have on that THC drink. It's a nice one. Help some people. My dad said it didn't help him sleep that much. That's bull crap. No way. Some people get headaches from THC drinks. I don't know. I don't have it enough. But take care of yourself, and everything else will thank you for it, and you'll be able to have more. You don't know until you just start feeding yourself with good stuff and start moving, right? If I don't work out every day, I'm not feeling good. No matter what I do, I have to start my day with it. Starting my 10-day cleanse and reset next weekend. Can't wait. We'll lose 10 pounds minimum. Oh, absolutely. Drink a hell of a lot of water and you'll be in great shape. Hey, Cap or Die, when will utility become a factor for crypto? Feels like it should be with the tokenization talk. I don't think anytime soon. I mean, you got Chainlink, you have the thoughts of Ondo, Proppy. I do like Proppy. Does not have a ton of attention, but at this level, if people are not in Proppy, I highly recommend it. With the tokenomics, it doesn't move with the rest of the market a lot of times, but it'll get to $2 no problem, just like it did last time. I think utility is far off. Remember this, and no matter what anyone says, the majority of crypto, and I say this a lot, I know, the majority of crypto is an idea, and it's not utilized right now. So it's all speculation, except for Bitcoin, which is, store of value, you could say. It'll never be money. Ethereum is needed. Don't listen to that. It's not dead. People might hate it, and I don't blame them. I'm no fan of Vitalik. I think he's not human. I'm no fan of Charles Hoskinson either. I think I can't listen to that guy ramble like I'm rambling. But utility does not equal price unless it's Chainlink. And Chainlink, in my view, $50, $60. I don't typically give price predictions, but when you hear the $100, $200, they're crazy in my view. But I could be wrong. But I don't own any. I know Metal does, and many people. I don't need it. Could get to $20, no problem. But yeah, everyone needs the Oracle and all that. No, they don't. There's other shit they can use, and yeah, it has these partnerships and all that. It doesn't mean anything. Maybe one day, but no one can predict when. It's not anytime close. Everything has to be done on the blockchain. And then utility comes to play. 5-10 years, maybe? 15 years? Maybe there's something else then after that, and blockchain's irrelevant. I don't know. So, good question. Nobody knows. But we are nowhere near that. There's all these partnerships going on with so many of these cryptos that you hear about. It's within the industry, mostly. So it doesn't mean anything. Ripple bought this trading platform. It didn't do anything for the price. So I think you have to have some utility plays in your portfolio, like the Proppies and AIOZ, which is an AI play somewhat. It's really deep in. You can have that stuff, some storage stuff. Chainlink. But we're in this to make money, or I am. That's what I try to teach. I will buy something on utility, but it depends if it has hype on it. Hype is the key. Or if I think it'll have hype, right? That's what drives price. That's what drives price, Drives price, not utility. At this point. Is Circle Public a good buy in your opinion? I wouldn't be buying it, but I think you can make a play on it. I don't think Ripple will be going public anytime soon, like they were talking about at one point. I wouldn't be buying Circle, but I think you might be able to. It'll do good if crypto does well. I think there's better avenues for you, but if you want to be diversified, personally buy other companies, looking into it that way. I think Circle has its has its challenges. Yeah, You know, I don't believe in buying that or strategy or anything like that. I'd rather just buy crypto. You know, that's. But if I'm going to buy equities, which I do, I'm going to buy unrelated equities to the crypto market. That's for sure. About a dozen crypto and fintech companies. Man, it's going for such a nice walk that I had you guys on. But a dozen crypto and fintech companies are applying for bank charters to gain Fed access. I bet Ripple, Stellar, and Quant are three of them. Now, see, Quant is another one that I'm gonna try to do something here. Unlock something to get my wallet. Quant I like, but they don't have as much partnerships as people say. But the head of Quant is very impressive. But right now, it's not meaning much. My favorite thing about Quant is the tokenomics. And I think Quant will do okay if I have a ton of it. But not, you know, I'm not buying any more. So I don't, you know, if I'm not DCAing in a bunch of stuff at the prices we've had, I don't have as much belief in it. But I do believe Quant will have its day because it moves so easily. But that'll take the whole market rocking out. Quant just came out with 2 new products, Quant Flow, and yeah, but who's using those? I hope people are. I like it. I like, you know, the head of Quant. They are sharp as hell. So that is one that if the utility gets used and it can equal price, in my view, I bought it to sell it around $1,500. I just don't know if we're going to see that. I think if we get a bull market, I can definitely get out around $500 to $1,000. Now we might say that's a big spread. It's really not with the tokenomics because a project like that, a big inflow, because it doesn't typically have a lot of volume, big inflow of volume, especially if it hit like a couple $100 and it gets, same with Aave. I like Aave. Not enough of it, but a bunch. They move so fast. That's what we want. You know, we're just in a weird spot in this market, as everyone knows. We're in the waiting game. Not a lot to be done. Not a lot to be had. But we certainly have time to accumulate dry powder. C90's got to, you know, use some of that crypto to buy a new furnace. You know, there's nothing worse than having to dish out money like that. I hate it. I'm getting close myself, and my parents just had to last year, and it's not fun. I think they paid $6K. Do not buy C90. Well, you're an engineer, but don't buy a high efficiency one. You know that, right? At least what I've learned, and been, just because the more efficient they are, the more easy and prone to problems you have because of the efficiency. My last guy who came out was saying, no, go low efficiency because, yeah, you think you're, you know, saving the earth or saving on your bill when you have the costs, because it, you know, it does produce more corrosion, and the some of the igniters go out quicker and all this shit. I mean, you pay for a little titanium rod, a little pin-sized thing. It was like, when I did that, it was I forgot what it's called, the fire igniter or something. It was years ago. It was like $400 for a little. Took 2 seconds to install. Your opinion on talking all our jobs in 5 years? AI jobs taking our jobs. We don't know. It's not taking everyone's job. It's gonna take some. It's gonna move so fast, AI, that we'll know more. And as soon as we know something on AI, it'll change. You know, what we know for sure is impermanence. Impermanence. Things constantly change. Nothing remains the same. Life, right? You're different today than you were yesterday. I think AI is going to be a big deal in regards to certain jobs. I think in regards to analytics, Definitely robotics will be taking over distribution, already has. I work with a lot of Amazon facilities, a lot of distribution facilities, I mean, huge ones. We have factories that are nothing but robots. A couple people there. Used to be like, hundreds of people there. So yeah, it'll slowly take over more things. Yes. Eventually it's gonna take over fighting. Ender's Game. You should watch not a movie, read a book, Ender's Game. It's a very interesting book I read, I don't know, 30 years ago. Very cool. Not about AI, but it's about how, the future, how we fight wars, basically in a video game. Pretty cool. I mean, it's an okay book. It's kind of for a young person to read. I was too old when I read it, but I enjoyed it. It was good enough. But yeah, Sui. Can't go wrong with Sui. I don't own it. I have thought about buying Say. Everyone says Sui and Say move the same. They always say that. It doesn't happen. That's why I bought Say, because it was lower. That was my buy over Sui. But Sui's been doing great. I think Sui will do great. AI moves at exponential speeds. Absolutely. There's no stopping that. There's no stopping technology. Years ago, I worked for a company, a computer company. And there was when talk about seeing technology change in the prices, right? You can just look at your TVs, how cheap they are, right? When CD-ROMs, CD writers came out, so CDs, if none of you know what they are, they're CD-ROMs, and then there are CDs that we would listen to music on, and they had things where you could copy a CD. They were about $900 when they came out. I was working for a company when they first came out, a computer company, and then next thing you know, after a couple of years, they were like, $400 and $300. Then the computers came with them, so you didn't need to buy them anymore. Then DVDs, right? If any of you know what DVDs are, where we used to watch movies on before we started streaming. DVD writers came out that you could put external drives and then into the computers. Those were about $1,600, then $1,000, then blah, blah, blah. Then they came with the computers if you wanted it. So things just change immediately. As soon as you buy technology, it's outdated. You know that, right? Computers, your phone, as soon as you buy it. So AI is going to move fast, and I think, well, we all know. We'll just have to see how fast. And we'll see how fast we let it, but there's no stopping things. The cloning of shit that we do and all that, the stuff you don't know about behind closed doors, that's scary stuff. ZE, hello. The man. Me and my whiskey salute. There you go, my friend. Yeah, so I talked about my last one that got cut off, being diversified. A.H. Hirsch, some investments, Z's in real estate. I bought some real estate back in the day on lake property. This is for your young investors that have money and want to be diversified. You're in crypto, you have 401k, you have equities, IRA if you want. Yeah, people say IRAs are horrible, and you gotta just be diversified. You don't put all into one bucket. If you can afford real estate, lake property is always great. I said this on the last one. I bought property around $76,000 20 some years ago, sold it in a year, made a huge profit on it because they're not making any more lakes. I mean, there's man-made lakes that get built, but I'm talking about natural big lakes, not like 20-acre lakes, big lakes. You can find, vacant land on one, plots, they call them. Never a bad investment. Everyone always wants to retire up there or get a second home on a lake. No, it can't be in the middle of nowhere where there's no other vacation homes or permanent homes. I bought A.H. Hirsch, which is a bourbon, years ago. Ranged from $79 to hundreds of dollars. I knew they were going to stop producing it. A.H. Hirsch, 16-year-old. I have a ton of them. I have my cousin buy cases and cases. He sold them all at auction. They're now anywhere from $8,000 to like $11,000, $12,000. I'm just going to hold on to it. They'll be $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 another 10, 15 years, just because it's scarcity, just like Bitcoin. People want what they can't have. Guitars. I've bought guitars. Those go up in price, good ones. Shitty ones go down. Good ones, if you treat them right and everything, they go up. There's a lot to it. So many options for you guys to be diversified. You just gotta, don't put it all in crypto. Sorry, I'm driving now, so I'm a little distracted. I'm also eyeing a lake. Man, it's upsetting. I had this going. I lost you all. I gotta make my stop. I'll look down when I get to a light. Can't do it now. I'll look at the comments in a minute. Oh. Bitcoin's still in the 93K range if you guys are looking. I can't look right now. If not, no big deal. But last I looked, 93,800. We need to get back to 95 before Asia wakes up, and hopefully Asia will do what they did last Sunday night and, you know, get us off to a good start. But don't be taking out loans for crypto. We don't FOMO in. All you on here know this stuff, but for the new folks who are hopefully subscribing, since I'm down 3 subscribers, popped up to 585, now at 582. Maybe I'll lose more on this. That's okay. This is kind of what you get. Plenty of time still to get your dry powder and get ready. Nothing changes. You can't have enough money. Don't listen to streamers who, and I've said this since I started this channel, who don't have no money. Who say, if I had dry powder, I would buy Proppy, I would buy this, I would buy Bitcoin. They, you know, you're gonna really listen to streamers who have no cash on the side. There's nothing wrong if you guys don't, but you don't have a crypto channel. You can't have a crypto channel and be broke, right? Like Bob from Crypto Angler. 88 Metal, right? I mean, he has not a pot to piss in. He has no crypto, yet he talks about crypto. It's crazy. All right, let's see what we got here. Me and my, funny enough, the cycle takes too long that I already bought everything wanted to already. Yep. When I'm going to cash out, I'm just going to go back in Forex, I guess. Nothing wrong with that. I think the best investments are in real estate personally. I think real estate is an amazing investment, but a lot of people are scared of it. They're just with, you know, what's involved. And so it is a great avenue. I think it's one of the best for sure, but you have to really know what you're doing like you do. True. I am also eyeing a lake in a village nearby. It has mosquitoes, but it's awesome. Would like that. Yeah, it's a great investment. Mosquitoes, they're everywhere. So you put up a bunch of bat houses, and they eat, like, each bat eats like 10,000. Put up a bunch of bat houses, they'll take care of a lot of the mosquitoes. Or should I say value preserver? All right. I think if it's a lake, now remember, you don't want to be the only home on the lake. But lake property is, on a good lake, man, it never depreciates. That's why PSSY is such a big industry. Men can't have. Exactly. Men always want what they can't have. And that will never go away. And some women, you know, want the bad boy or whatever it may be. You know. But they're not as animal-minded like we are. Me at 53, I'm still a maniac in regards to certain things. I'll leave it at that. Hold on one sec. Pull in here. I'm gonna park. What I'm gonna be picking up is a bunch of tofu and a bunch of good stuff. So let's look here. Real estate, all in buy. Rich parents, he has. Whenever I enter his stream, I feel like crap and become doubting my investments, but then I remember he's an idiot. Yeah, Bob he's not a stupid guy. I think he might be spectrum bound. Nothing wrong with that. That's okay. But he is He's not stupid, far from stupid, but he is a loser. He is a loser. So don't ever take his advice. He knows nothing. He knows about tech and he's well read. But he doesn't know as much as he thinks he does. I mean, if he did, he wouldn't be a broke ass bitch like he is, which he is, a broke ass like 40-year-old. I've got nothing wrong with someone, you know, I mean, he doesn't even work. He doesn't like do the traditional thing, he says. I mean, he's a joke. He's a joke. I mean, he does a shitty channel like I do, but I at least know what the hell I'm talking about for the most part. And I'm not going to bullshit. He doesn't bullshit. He just thinks he knows fucking everything and just wants to argue. Better at police than at crypto. Yeah, exactly. Imagine being Bob, having a crypto channel and get all your crypto stolen. Yeah, or only getting it. Oh, but he never really put his money, that much money into it. It was always donations. Better at politics than, yes, yeah. Though I don't fully agree with on his, you know, he's kind of like, he's right on a lot of things, and I do agree with some of his things, but yeah, I don't know. I think he's a little unbalanced with it, but he's not stupid. He's not stupid like George. George is really stupid, really stupid. Josh at Discover Crypto, smart guy, but not near as smart as he knows, and I do not like him. Just because he is so biased. I hate, and he says he's not a right wing or that. And I've got no issue if you're right wing, but say you are. But I like being unbiased. I'll call the left out for their bullshit, and I'll call the right out for their bullshit. Bullshit is bullshit. And if you're wrong, you're wrong, in my view. You know, there's plenty of room for both sides, and if you can't see both sides, that is just, to me, ridiculous. All right, let's go shopping. I will talk to you guys. Let me, sorry, you know, I had every plan to do it where we were, and I lost you. I'm sorry I lost you guys, but I cannot control the phone. I appreciate you guys so much. I'll be back, figure this out. Just, you know, it's gonna be one of those weeks. Wait and see, and let's see what happens. You know, let's see where the market takes us. It's going to be later, brother. Let's see. I'm looking forward. When we do get in a bull run, man, this will be, well, I'll be sad. I promise you that. But just have the dry powder ready, and ZE, just be ready. You still need to have dry powder ready, because when the things do get hot, if they get hot, you'll want to jump in on more stuff. Bring down your costs a little bit and make a couple more million, and we're going to do it. All right. Consider subscribing if you're new. If you need anything, I'm here for you. Appreciate all of you. ZE, Crypto Homes, 88 Meadow, C90, of course. All my brothers and sisters. Cap or die. All be careful. Good luck with your furnace, and get that lawn done. Watch out for ticks. We've had ticks